Hi everyone, welcome to a super exciting session of 3D designing. Yes, you heard it right. Are you ready for it? In this session, we are going to make a 3D design of an object. Can you guess what it is? Okay, I'm getting a lot of answers from you. Okay, so I will be sharing my window here and you will get to know what it is. Okay? So I will be sharing my Tinkercad window here. Can you see it? Yes, it is a 3D design of a home. So we are developing a 3D design of a home using our Tinkercad platform. So I hope you all are ready for that, right? Very good. So let's start then. So at first I will be sharing my presentation here. I hope you can see it. Fine? Okay. Now, in this session, we will learn these things. So we will be making a design of a home using different boxes, and there we will use roof objects, box objects, like these kind of things. And then we will learn the concepts like how whole objects works, and then grouping, making empty spaces inside of a solid object. So these are the things that we will be covering, and you will get to know what are the use cases of this. Understood? Fine. So there are certain steps that we need to follow here. So at first we are adding a box into the work plane. A box into the work plane. And we will change the dimensions accordingly. So this box is used for making the wall design of our home. Okay. So here we will be making the wall design of our home. There we need to cut down the portion from the old object. So we are adding a box at first. So that will be the first object that we will add into the work plane, and then we will make another object which is a box, but this time it is not a box, it is a solid object. And then when it comes to the second part, so after cutting down a portion from this main object, we will be adding the door hole. So this door hole design is looking like this, right? So now there we used a roof object, a round roof object, and also a box object to make the door design. And then at the end we will use a roof object on the top of the main object, and then we will combine all together. Then we will get the output that we deserve, right? Yes. So that is these are the steps that we need to follow, and I hope you all understood the concepts like adding objects and making holes in it. So we will be going into the practical, right? Okay, so let's go to the website. So let's go to the Tinkercad website by using any of your web browsers. You can use any of your web browsers like Chrome, Edge, anything you like. Okay, so once you got your web browser, what you have to do is you have to search for Tinkercad. You have to search for Tinkercad. So how you can search for Tinkercad? Just type Tinkercad. So when you search for it, you can see different Google searches, right? Yes. Now you can just click on to the Tinkercad website link, which is already provided, which is coming on top, right? Okay. So did you went through it? Yes, right. So you got the same window as mine. Okay, I think you have already logged into this particular web page. If you are not logged in, don't worry. What you can do is, so I'm going to log out from this website, so then you can have an experience to it. So I'm going to sign out. Okay, so once we signed out, we can see an interface like this. So this is the same interface that you may get if you are not signed into this Tinkercad platform. And then now what you have to do is you have to click onto this sign up option. Then you can choose create personal account, and there you need to input your sign in with Google or Google ID or any other mail that you have. So basically we all have a Google account with us, and so we can sign in with Google. So we can choose this sign in with Google option. Just click on to sign in with Google. So when you click onto that, it will take you to another interface looking like this. So did you get the same? Yeah, you got the same, right? Okay, very good. So you followed my instruction. Now you are in the Tinkercad window, right? Okay, great. So now let's create a new project in 3D design. So for that purpose, what you have to do is you have to click onto this create button. Can you see the create button over there? Yes, right. So let's just click on it and then choose 3D design. Choose 3D design. So once you click 3D design from the list, it will take you to another window looking like this. Okay, you got it? Yes, very good. So we already familiarized what are the tools in it and what are the elements in it and what is a work plane, like these kind of things. Are you remembering? Yes. Okay. So now in this part, what we are going to do is we are going to add the object into the work plane at first. Okay. So in this step, we are going to add the first object that is necessary for making our home design. So let's add the box. So this is the box design that we need, right? Yes, if you want to make the wall design, you have to input a box shape into the work plane, right? Yes. So we added a box into the work plane. Did you add? Yes, great. So let's change the dimensions now. So we have to change the measurements. So for changing the measurements, what we have to do? Yes, we have to choose any of these 5 points, right? Yes. So for now, what I'm going to do is just click onto this fit view option. So what happens if you click onto this fit view option? It will take you to the object. So the object will be fitted into the screen and now it is visible, right? Yes. Now let's change the dimensions like this. So here I'm changing it as 40. Okay, now it is 40 and this one is 20. So like here you can see that it is 20 now and this one is 40. So we are changing the length to 40 and the width to 20. So it is already 20 now, and now we have to change the height. So how we can change the height? You can see the 5th point over there, right? So this is the 5th point. So let's go to the front view. Now you can take the height using the 5th point and let's change it over there. So we are changing the number to 10. Okay. So you're following me and you change the length, width, and now here it is the height. So we changed the 3 units, like 3 areas, right? So we changed all the dimensions and now we got the basic shape of our home. Okay, good. So let's see what are the other things that we need to do right now. And first of all, you keep it in mind that these are all in mm. So 40 indicates this length is 40 mm in size. So when you are doing, or if you want to make a 3D object in real time, or if you want to make a 3D printed model using a 3D printer, you have to know what is the actual size of the object that you're making, right? So according to the size, you have to make the design here. So you have to take the measurement at first and then we can go for the 3D design. So here we are using 40 mm in size, in length, and 20 mm in width. It is a little bit smaller. So like it will only have a length and width of 40 mm and 20 mm. So it is that much small. Okay. So here we only need that much. And if you want to adjust the size, you can adjust. Okay. You can modify it. Now, what we can do, what we are going to do next is, it is somewhat easy to do. Right now I'm going to the fit view. Let's go to the home view again and then click on to fit view and go to the top view. So now we got our box in front of us, right? Yes. Now what we are going to do is we are going to duplicate it. So after duplicating, we will get the duplicated object in the exact same position of the previous one. So let's duplicate it using the duplicate tool. Now it's duplicated, right? So we can see that it is now, there is no change over there because the duplicated object is now placed on the same place. So we have to change it accordingly. So what we are going to do is we are going to change the length, width and height. So let's change the height. At first we are going to change the width to a little bit smaller, like, yeah, from each side we are reducing the size to 1 mm. So we are reducing the size, we are reducing 1 mm in size. So here I put the length as 39, and if I'm changing over here it will come as 38. So just moving a little bit, now it's 38. And then here, from here, for adjusting each sides, you can use this black points. You can see the black square points over there, right? Yes, so you can use this black square points and then adjust it accordingly. Now it is 90 and here it should come as 80. Fine. From each side we adjusted 1 mm. Okay, so what is the use of it? Because we adjusted the object from the old one. Now we need to make it as a whole object to make a group of these two objects, and it will become a single object, and at the result we will find a whole design. Okay, so let me share the other things. So, I will share the steps with you, but before that you need to follow the same here. So have you adjusted the length, width like this from each side? Yes, right. So you adjusted the size or the sides 1 mm, right? Yes, okay, good. Now what we have to do is we have to go to the front view, and now we are putting this one. This is the duplicated object, and now we are changing the height to a little bit larger than the old one. See that? See the difference? So this is the duplicated object, and this one is the main object. Understood? Great. Now what we are going to do is we are taking the duplicated object. So now the duplicated object is now selected. In the next step we are making it as a whole object. So for making it as a whole object, you can go to this box properties, and there you need to choose whole. Okay, so you can see a transparent type design over there. It is changed into a transparent type design. See that? Yes. So what is the use of it? Okay, so I think it's exciting you, right? Yes. So we will see what happens if we group it together. So we all know we are using a grouping tool to make many objects into a single object, right? Yes. So let's see what happens if we group it together. So let's select all the objects and then click onto this group. So once you click onto that, you can find the whole object, cut down the portion from the main object, right? Yes. So when you want empty spaces inside solid objects, you have to use whole objects, and wherever the whole objects comes, there we will cut down the portion from the main object. Understood? So this is how it works. So after adding each other with all the dimensions you want, you have to ensure that it is all grouped together. Then only it will make the cut, right? Yes. Now we got a whole design of our home design. Did you see it? Do you like it? Yes, right? In the next step, we are going to make the door design. So it must be a whole shape, and we are going to achieve this design using the box and round roof. So let's add a box into the area. So let's fit it into the view, right? So here I'm going to choose this one, and again I'm going to fit view. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So we want to adjust the sizes, right? So before that we will add this round roof on top of this. In two ways you can arrange this round roof on top of this box. On the first hand, you can see you can directly put this one on top of it, or otherwise you can place it here, and after placing placing it into the work plane, and you have to lift it from the work plane. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So just I'm adding here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this round roof from the work plane a little bit upwards. So why is that? Because the distance between this round roof and the work plane must be same as the height of this object. Then only it will be going on top of the box, right? Yes. For that purpose, what we can do is, once you select the object, you can see an arrow mark, right? Can you see the arrow mark here? A dark triangle shape you can see over there, right? Yes. So just choose this arrow mark and move your mouse upwards. You can see the difference, right? It is now lifting up, and now let's put it in this mark. So now it is 20 mm. So here you can see it is 20 mm, it is 21 mm. Let's change it to 20 mm. So this is the actual distance between this work plane and the main object or the selected object. Understood? Yes. Now it is lifted from the work plane same as the height of this box. You can see that the height of this box is 20 mm in length, right? Yes. So what we are going to do is, here we need to select these two objects and we are making it as a single object. So at first we need to align it. So how to do that? So for aligning purpose, I'm going to this fit view, and let's go to the top view. So go to the top view and use this align tool option. So click this align tool, and we want this object in center. Okay, so let's choose this one. Now it is centered. You can see that these are all grayed out, which is indicating it is now aligned properly. It is now indicating it is aligned properly. So that's what it does. So if you want to align particular objects properly, you have to use this aligning tool, right? Yes. Now you understood the use of aligning tool, right? Okay, great. So let's move on then. Now we are going to make it as a single object. So for making it as a single object, we have to group it. So select these two objects, click on to grouping tool. So once you click onto that, you can see now the color has been changed into red, which is indicating now it is a single object, right? Now it is a single object. So let's change the dimension here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size proportional to each other. Like if you are changing the height, you can see that the height is the only dimension which is changing, right? I'm going to undo the step. So here I'm using this one. Okay. Now we are going to change the dimension here, right? So we need to change the dimension proportional to each other. For that purpose, what we can do is you can just click onto your shift key in your keyboard. So you did the same as mine. So you followed my instruction. Now we got the door design here, and we need to make it as a whole, and we need to put it into the main object, right? So for that purpose, we can make it as a whole design, and then in here we have to adjust the size at first. So if you want to adjust the size proportional or linear to each other, what you can do is just click on to the point that is required for changing the adjustments, and then you can hold on to your shift key, then move your mouse. So there is some error occurred. So I'm holding on to my shift key right now, and then select the point, reduce the size. You can see that it is now proportionally changing or adjusting the dimensions. See that? See, it is now this much small. So now I want it as a bigger one. So let's take this one and put it as like this. So I put it as 7. Now let's make it as a whole object, because we need a door hole design, right? So once you've done that, now it looks a transparent design, right? Now it is looking like a transparent design. Now we need to put this one into this area, and make sure that it is going through the wall. See, it is going through the wall. Now once we group it, let's see what happens. Once we group it, you can see that it is now made a hole into the main object. See that? Interesting, right? Yes, very good. Now what is the next step? So you all done the same thing as mine, right? So you followed me and now you are in this stage. We made a hole design and a door hole design, right? Yes. So did you get the same? Yes, good. And now what we are going to do is we are going to add a roof into the main object. So for adding the roof into the main object, we can just click onto the home view again. So let's go to the top view and fit view. So we are adding the roof directly on top of the main object. Now in this stage, we are going to add the roof object on top of the main object. So let's add this one on top of the main object. So we are directly putting this one on top of this one. Okay, here you can find that now it is placed on top of this box. See that? So you can use your right mouse button to view the angles. Okay, so hold it and move it. You can see now it is properly aligned. Now if you want to change the length, so we all know that this one has a length of 40. So as like that, we are going to change the length to 40. So here we are changing its length to 40. See, now it is aligned. So let's align it using the aligning tool. It's aligned right now. And in the next step, what we need to do is, you can see that it is now somewhat fitted into the main object. But we don't want like that structure. We need to extend it out. Means this roof must be extended out a 1 mm in size. So from each side, we are going to extend this roof a 1 mm. So let's take the roof right now. Select the roof. So you already selected the roof, right? Yes, okay, great. Now we are going to adjust the length here. So just put it as, okay. So here you can find that now it is 20. Let's make it as 22. So once you make it as 22 and here you can find that it is now 40. Let's change it as 42. So we changed the dimensions as 42 and 22. So why we changed it? Because we are going to adjust the roof object somewhat extended out from the main object. So for that purpose, just select these two objects again and then align it again. So we can just click on to this, select the two objects and then go to aligning tool. Now we have to click on to this two central points. You can see the central points, right? Yes, we click the central points. Now it is aligned properly with our main object. See that? Did you get it? So we changed the dimensions of the main roof and then we aligned it along with the object that we have added before, which is the main object, and then now you got the design of our home. Interesting, right? So now you can group it together. So if you want to change the color, you can change the color like this, or in any other way you can change the color. If you want to adjust the color as like this, you can adjust it. And then if you make it as a group object, or if you make it as a single object, what happens? Just click onto the group object. You can see that now the object color is converted into a single color. But if you want multiple color, which is already have been selected, so you just click onto this multicolor option. See that? Now it is a single object, but it is having multicolors in it. Understood? So I think it is all clear to you, and you know how to design a simple 3D design of a home using Tinkercad platform. Am I right? Yes. Now let's cover what are the things we learned today. So in this session we talked about how to make a design or how to make a 3D design of a home by adding boxes and grouping all together. So here we added a box object at first and we changed it. So we added a box object and we changed its dimensions accordingly, and then we used one more object, so one more box object, by duplicating it, and we adjusted each sides. Okay, so we adjusted each sides using the points, dark points, right? Then we made it as a whole object. So why we made it as a whole object? It is because if you want to cut down a portion, if you want to delete a portion from a solid object, you must use a whole object in it. Then if you group it, it will cut down the portion from it. Understood? Is it clear? Okay. In the next step, we used a door design and made it as a whole object, right? So then we added the whole object into this and then made it as a single design. Now after that we made a roof object, so we added a roof object into it and then we completed the design of our home. So did you like it? I think you all liked it, and this is how you can generate your own design, 3D designs, using Tinkercad platform. I hope you all understood. Thank you for your participation. We will see you next time. Thank you.